Okay, let's see. Without lies, religion died.
Right, before we begin, you'll all be glad to know that the audience participation portion of our series is nearly over. After this relatively short portion, Kent will in fact be done embarrassing himself by not understanding your jokes, failing to understand your rhetorical points, and telling some of you to, commit to not living anymore. And instead we'll be going back to failing to understand my points, science in general, and how to an argument that's not stupid ever. Hooray!
That's why I say evolution is a religion, and without these lies to back it up, it'll die.
Wait, you didn't say evolution is a religion because it's a religion, well, because it isn't, but because it has lies in it? What the hell is your definition of religion? Is it just a thing that people believe? Well, we have a word for that, Ken. It's called a belief. And guess what? While all religions are beliefs, not all beliefs are religions. They actually have to do more shit. They actually have to have more going on than just that. Also, if we take him at his implied definition, if there are any lies in the Bible and we take them out, it will collapse. And that's just fine with Kent. Well, I have some news for you, mate. The whole thing is bullshit. Now you don't have to sound like an idiot creationist anymore. There's a whole new world of other stupid beliefs out there waiting for you to believe them uncritically instead.
I'm not trying to get creation in the schools. I'm not trying to get evolution out of the schools. I want lies out of the schools.
Well, when it comes to what evolution says, there are no lies. Unless you're Kent, when the lies are just about what it says. And when it comes to the factual accuracy of creationism, well, that's almost 100% lies. So things are exactly as you want them to be. You just don't know it because you're too dumb to tell the difference between reality and falsehoods. You know, I'm starting to think this guy might not be very smart.
You take all the lies out of the textbooks, evolution collapses.
Of course, what you actually mean by lies is all the things that I don't understand and misrepresent. Take those out and evolution collapses. And yeah, I suppose an empty textbook wouldn't do a very good job explaining it, but here's the thing. Evolution doesn't fucking care what textbook says. It continues to function with or without accurate explanations. That's why when everyone thought God did it was a good answer, evolution carried on working regardless. It's just that humanity was far too stupid for it. And that's what Kent wants. Everyone to be just as ignorant as he is. I wonder why.
There's no evidence for it. If you don't like it, show me some, okay?
I've got to imagine that you, as an individual, have probably been presented with more examples of evidence that evolution is a real thing that happens and works than possibly any human being alive. Now, the problem is that you neither understand nor, more importantly, engage with that overwhelming proof, leaving you with a completely empty understanding of any of it. And that's not to even mention that there's probably even more of it out there aimed specifically at you that you'll just never see. I mean, you're responding to my video here, but I don't think you ultimately cover more than a couple of minutes of it. And while I wouldn't hold that against someone just responding to a particular argument someone had just put out there, the fact that it's a response that is supposed to be to me, and yet you have no idea what it actually says while you do your little response. It's a wonder you even know who the fucking video is from.
Let's see, Religion is the McDonald's of belief. What on earth does that mean? Neil?
I have no idea.
No idea. Okay.
Seriously, why did you read any of these fucking things if you don't even know what they are supposed to mean? And don't get it twisted, just because you don't understand something doesn't mean that it's meaningless. It means you have a teeny tiny fly brain that can't grasp analogies. What I would take away from that is that it's accessible, easy to consume in basically every country on the planet, and fucking terrible for you. The fact that you couldn't grasp that obvious portion of it kind of proves the point, at least about your own ideology. As fast food rots the body, creationism clearly rots the mind.
I don't know how Hovind exists without cringing himself into orbit.
And that is it for the comments. And what a way to end that portion of our video. Someone absolutely savagely mocking him and him sitting there like the mindless dunce that he is, ironically answering the question rather nicely. He doesn't cringe himself into orbit because that would require the intellect and self-awareness to realize the things he says are so absurd. That's how.
Soul shot. What kind of comment is that? I feel great. I'm doing fine. Anyway, the Bible says Answer not a fool according to his folly, lest thou be like unto him.
I see, that's why your responses are so bad. You're not coming down to their level. You're digging down to the center of the fucking planet and responding from there. I guess that most certainly wouldn't make you a fool like they are, but a whole new level of dumbness, the likes of which have ne'er been seen before. Impressive.
I do these whacking atheists to help you students that are trying to get through past a teacher that has this stupid religion of evolution and wants to spread it in public schools at taxpayer expense.
So your admitted target audience is children. Well, that's just fucking embarrassing. I mean, it's funny that you don't do this to a general audience, that you in fact don't seem to think it would be very convincing to someone who already has an education in what science really says. It is far too late for them because they'll see right through your nonsense. Whereas kids starting to learn, well, you fill their brain with your poison and they aren't going to even have space to learn what the actual facts are. And will, like every creationist, teacher gets schooled by the students type of video you dickheads just love to shit out. They'll give a long, incoherent speech about how science am bad, and God am good, and it am take more faith to do an atheism. Except unlike the videos, they won't get a round of applause. I would imagine they'll get a swirly and a kick me sign for the rest of the year.
I think all you students that believe in creation should be able to ask questions. Teacher,
in what fucking universe do you think that creationist dipshit idiot students who are indoctrinated morons aren't allowed to ask questions? They can ask as many as they like, so long as they are earnest and listening to the goddamn answers. The problem is, all your questions are designed to be the end of a line of inquiry, because they're all gotchas. But of course, when that inevitably doesn't work and the student gets shut down, instead of thinking that it's because they're wrong, you're going to convince the little shit that they were actually being silenced by facts somehow. No, someone not immediately dropping to their knees and praising Jesus because you said something that proves that you don't know what you're talking about is not any kind of censorship. It's the exact thing you would expect when you say something dumb. Kind of proves that you did it, really.
do you know this to be true, or do you believe this to be true? Where's the scientific evidence that a dog and a sunflower are related?
I told you, it's an attempt to completely derail well, it's not a conversation. They're derailing the whole class from actually learning anything. Because if the teacher engages with your horseshit, they have to explain how that's a misrepresentation of what the science actually says and give a better analog that explains it properly. And the whole thing will likely take over the whole goddamn lesson. Or they tell you to shut the fuck up and that will play into the persecution complex. Either way is a win for you. But it's not an honest win by any plausible metric, you dishonest prick.
Challenge them. Stop them, because they're poisoning the minds of the rest of the kids in your class.
The exact opposite of reality, which is of course what creationism is, and what the proponents of it are attempting to do, to basically as many people as they can. And unfortunately, as much of a joke as Kent is today, every single fuckwit creationist who does still do the rounds was likely inspired by him, or at least inspired by someone else who was themselves inspired by, at the very least, his ideas and techniques. It's why it will never not be worth addressing Kent's arguments and tactics. Because they're still out there, very much poisoning the minds of the intellectually feeble and the too young to know better.
That's your mission field. I was a sophomore in high school when I got saved. And in my biology class, Beverly something, in East Peoria High School back in 1969.
Translation: when dinosaurs roamed the land, Kent tripped, fell, hit his head on a rock, and subsequently blanked on the millions of years of evolution that followed. What a shame, the one man that could respond to Ken Ham's stupid shit about "were you there?" and instead he joined the dark side with him to start indoctrinating children. Damn.
She pushed evolution hard. I didn't have all the answers. I wish I did.
You still don't, Kent, you fucking knuckle. You literally have 0 answers. In fact, you probably have less now than you did then. Apparently so self-brainwashed as you are. And that's the thing. So many people claim that Kent knows he's lying, but I don't think he truly does. Not on purpose, anyway. It's just when your brain is so utterly destroyed, the difference between the truth and a lie do truly become utterly meaningless to you.
I got them now. A lot of students in high school don't have them and need them. I got all kinds of books to help you on the topic.
Oh, I am sure you do, and I'm sure you've written a few of them yourself. And they can be ours for just 1,000 times more money than the value of the paper it's written on. But you know, when needs must, you got to pay top dollar for some toilet paper, so fair play.
Help. How do I deal with evolution in my public school? Help. They're teaching me evolution in my earth science class. What do I do? Are you being brainwashed by your science book? Help. They're teaching me evolution in my biology textbook.
Wow, those are some of the shittest names for books on anything ever. Help, I'm so bad at naming books that I put help in the title. Fuck's sake. Next you're going to tell me there's a new one coming out called Help, Science Bad, blah.
We got lots of stuff. Go to drdino.com. Look at my videos on there. We want to help you get some strength in your faith.
Oh yeah, and let me guess, you can buy those books on there too. That's probably the most hilariously aggravating part of this whole thing. While the man is definitely high on his own supply of bullshit, there's no way that he doesn't know what he's doing here, trying to squeeze money out of his victims. It is always funny to me how pretty much every single "we have disproven the science" type of ideology, their quote-unquote good stuff, is 90% behind a paywall. But if you want to know what the actual facts are, it's actually pretty hard to get into a position where you can give anyone your money to learn it. You have to actually go to university to get the last 10% or so of the knowledge. And that's only because learning that bit is usually really, really hard. The only reason most of their shit is behind a money barrier is because when you actually see it, it is exactly the same shit that they've always been saying in a slightly different order. It's pathetic.
I say, if you're done watching the videos, you're going to say, wow, the Bible's true. Then about a week later, you sit up in bed in the middle of the night and say, oh no, the Bible's true.
Dude, the only people watching your shit earnestly already fucking think that. And frankly, I know that more than one of them, once they got wise to the fact that you are so full of shit, actually stopped believing in God, thanks at least in part to how much of your shit is total garbage. Hell, if I were a betting bastard, I would imagine that your conversion ratio at this point is probably in the negatives. Less than 0 seems to not be the brag one might hope it is. Same for his IQ.
Yeah.
Classic.
Okay, let's see. Bible says, don't answer full. It says in Proverbs 23, speak not in the ears of a fool, for he will despise the wisdom of thy words.
So I don't know about you, but to me, this clearly says if you think someone is a wrong idiot, you know how he thinks basically all atheists and quote-unquote evolutions out there are, he shouldn't even try to talk to them. And yet, again, much like how God hates people who tell fibs, he also doesn't want you telling those fibs to us. You just don't care what God wants, do you? I've said it before, and I'll say it again. You better hope he ain't real, because if I were him, I would be so pissed with you.
We see that happening all the time, don't we? Go from the presence of a foolish man, when thou perceivest not in him the lips of knowledge. Time to walk away.
Well then, when exactly was the time to walk away? I mean, you're the one that makes these stupid ass response videos. Maybe you shouldn't have done that in the first place, according to your own stated beliefs, that you apparently don't listen to? Fuck me. You are a contradictory beast, aren't you?
I've done that a couple times with people talking to them. They're talking about evolution or something. We're not getting anywhere. I say, well, this is a Proverbs 14:7 moment. Bye.
Translation again. Someone is absolutely handing your ass to you, none of your tricks are working, and everyone around you is starting to realize that you're a colossal dumbass. Time to dip out. Seriously, you aren't leaving because a person just isn't getting it. You love that shit. The thrill of embarrassing someone with your, unfacts that sound convincing enough to a stupid person. No. 100% of the time you are ever running away like the coward that you are is because, dun dun dun, you're a coward.
And walk off. And they look at me, Proverbs 14:7. Yeah. That's what we're supposed to do, walk away. He that walketh with wise men shall be wise, but a companion of fools shall be destroyed.
Yep.
Look, if these folks want to believe they came from a rock, all related to a banana, walk away, okay? Get away.
So this is clearly mostly advice for his audience because he knows that the vast majority of them would get fucking stomped in an argument with an even slightly prepared interlocutor. That the chances of them being the ones who have to concede the argument and potentially walking away believing something different is near 100%. The only reason he doesn't really take his own advice is because, like it or not, Kent is good at arguing. That's not the same as being right. He's just good at using all his little tricks to try to corner you. And if you aren't well prepared for that, he has a good chance of at least pissing you off and probably making you look bad somehow. He does it on purpose. He's like that one person that you have all had this argument. You were right. After the fact, you double checked and they were 110% in the wrong and were just being a dishonest prick. But in the moment, they had you. It's not a character flaw to lose to that kind of person. The same way it's not your fault if some asshole burgles your house. It's theirs. They are bad people. And you have to accept that bad people often get away with shitty behavior. Just be as prepared as you can and hope that you don't run into them in a dark alley. Especially not Kent. I would seriously rather be fucking stabbed.
The fool said in his heart, there's no God.
And the even bigger fool said, "Hi, my name's Kent Hovind. Want to talk about science?"
So let's see. Sir Sic started off saying, where was it here?
Oh, I had almost forgotten the sheer professionalism of these streams. I mean, look at that raw desktop background. And you know the only reason that there aren't any icons is because he had to hastily delete his copy of Fuck Queen 7, Rise of the Super Horny Demon Sluts. But only because it's not as good as 1 through 6.
Yeah, slide number 21. Alt-DV, 21, enter. Sir Sic is an idiot of the highest order.
Holy fucking shit. Now, some of you have failed to realize that this little series has been on the same video. You seem to be under the impression that this has been some kind of back and forth. No, he said all of this stupid shit he said about me, my audience, and science in general in a single sitting. But even I didn't realize that this man was so fucking stupid that he's doing literally the same fucking bit he did 20 minutes ago in the context of his own video. What is going on?
This channel is for entertainment purposes only. Sir Sic is an idiot of the highest order.
Seriously, I can't fucking believe it. He doesn't even remember what he did in the video that he's currently making live. I just don't even. We're going to have to pick this up next time if there's even any fucking point. Bye!